Good morning. This is Scholar Reality. Today is Sunday, July 1st, 2018. Scholar Reality, on behalf of myself and all my supporters, uh, will suggest the peace which is going to continue start last June on 20 to 21 and then move to Khartoum, Sudan. And it has been clear that there is agreement has been signed, and then from there it will go back to Nairobi for other a third round of peace in South Sudan. Perspective that I will be focused around is three steps. First, it is a peace. South Sudanese need to peace. There no doubt, as I have been suggesting last week about it, we need peace. Our people are suffering. Second, how peace will come to South Sudan. To be back up that how peace will become, do we support our leader to bring a peace while they are searching for pressure, for position, for high motivation, people we recognize as their leaders, while they have been serving us more than 30 years in the SPLM when it broke away in 1983. Did the value that they are still destroying the children of South Sudan? So this peace is about them or about our people? Dr. Riek and Salva Kiir are their supporters. Did they see South Sudanese as only for politicians? We will support them with the values? That is second. The third, why we are pushing ourselves, and why others has been pushing us to accept ourselves to make a peace in South Sudan. Why we actually don't bring a good solution to ourselves, which has been done in 1994 by Dr. John Garang in Convention 94 in Chukudum, and also peace that has been done South Sudanese leaders. John Garang with Dr. Riek. When Dr. Riek broke away in 91, he came back in 2001, has been done, and that was a union peace. So now the peace, which has caused a lot of life and humanitarian crisis, the South Sudan has been volatile under a war and hunger and drought. So this is our objective that a corner reality want to projectile to you, to see by yourself, to analyze in yourself what is really a focus of the South Sudan government and the opposition under Dr. Riek Machar. And there are so many factions too. Did they be including into the framework of peace? It is not really clear to me that the peace we have been negotiating in Khartoum since Monday, and then I think has been done in Wednesday by signing, cessation of hostility in South Sudan. Are Sudan really genuine about that? Why they're fighting in Sudan too? The SPLM North is still fighting National Congress. Why they don't bring the peace to themselves? All right, I will start. First of all, to the viewer, to the Western world, diaspora of South Sudanese, and to the Western world itself. A problem of South Sudan must be basis of reality. There's no doubt about that. The problem which has been created in 2013 that brought this mess, and our side, as they see, as one side is weak, and they already point the finger to the government, as the government has a problem. I believe the government has a problem, but people cannot really point the finger to the government too much. The constitution which people need to adjust is the only a key element that can serve South Sudanese. A new constitution which can guideline the people of South Sudan, because when they wrote the constitution, it was under insecurity which we didn't know as South Sudan we succeed. If we didn't make that constitution we have now, which Salva used it have a power on it by himself, because they make that constitution to control one person, to control everything, because there was a few, even it's not a few, there was so many individuals that was still hoping South Sudan will not succeed. SPLM is weak, John Garang die, like that, and they didn't believe South Sudan will come out, but SPLM was strong in foundation, as I repeat myself, was strong in the foundation, which John Garang left to SPLM, and the SPLM soldier was united under one flag, which we have now. So the constitution which is now Salva has been used to try to rule for a long time. People make it, SPLM make it, and it was make it because to bring the South Sudanese out from North. And they support to change it. But the reason why they didn't change it, it is weakness of the Salva. Salva didn't try to reform, to bring a good exercise to South Sudan. Just he like to be like that, and to rule for a long time. So that the constitution is the main objective that can restore the peace. Actually, a peace in South Sudan, we need it, I say. But why? Why our main enemy, which is still killing our people now in North, which is destroying Darfurian, which is still destroying Abyei, which is still destroying Nubian and Blue Nile people, try to bring a South Sudanese parties, the war parties, to one table. I don't think that the reality in it. I don't believe our leaders are really leaders that can lead people. We fought with them for more than 50 years. Anyanya 1, Anyanya 2, and then the SPLM in 1983 to 2005. And we still continue fighting now, within the South Sudanese militants that are going to North Sudan, and they arm them and they come back to South. They still destabilize the South Sudan to bring a peace to South Sudan. Why the enemy Arsenal Trophy, which is already dead? Why his successor, the Bashir, is still planning to divide us while he remains in the power? He can destroy South Sudan for good. If Arsenal, no, it's Omar al-Bashir going to control your wealth, your oil. So what we fought for? If Omar gonna sell the production of oil daily or monthly and give you and pay your institution, so what is South Sudan about? So there are no really integrity here. As a nation has its own jurisdiction, has its own law that it can conduct and pay institution. So I believe that peace must to be crippled, must to be broke, must to be accepted. That the peace that North Sudan has been signed is not a peace. It's just a trap that he can get the wealth, and the agreement that Salva has been accepted is not agreement. It's a trap. So more to be really crippled right away. That peace, it cannot bring a good priority to South Sudanese community. It cannot bring development. It cannot bring nothing. We're going to still continue develop the North Sudan, while our people have been fought for it, for freedom, to develop themselves and to develop their land. So I believe if Riek Machar is smart and Salva is smart, Riek Machar is supposed to suggest that himself that I am not fighting. I will settle and I will wait for election. And I will not really even try to divide the army that Riek Machar is supposed to say has a leader. But Riek Machar like a war, and that war, even if we give him, Dr. Riek Machar now, we give him to be live around the neighbor, he cannot have even to try to win the war. Because where are you going to get a weapon? In 91, he didn't get a weapon, and still going to go back to North Sudan. So that peace has been made in North Sudan, in Khartoum. The ceasefire, permanent ceasefire in South Sudan between SPLMIO and the government, we can accept it, but it's not really. Don't you guys, actually South Sudan is not really a playground of comedian who might try to be a comedian in these false architects that can bring a peace to South Sudanese, negotiate the peace, which you guys forgot. Homer is like a fox. Homer is a false man, which Dr. Riek Machar don't remind himself. When he signed the 97 peace agreement to give South Sudan secession, what happened? He disarmed Dr. Riek himself and disarmed all the Nasser faction in that time. So Nastavandenga, the witness about that. And he was, in 97, he was a governor of Unity State, and they, enforced him out to leave the governorship. So Omar al-Bashir, when he said the word, is not mean. He tried to trap you and use it against you later. So the peace that has been signed in North Sudan, in Khartoum on Monday and on Wednesday, is not a genuine, it's a false. And I don't know, it's a Salva Kiir is like a child which don't know tomorrow what come and what can plan. So Omar Bashir cannot use our oil, and North Sudan even government cannot facilitate our oil to sell our oil and to produce our oil in our own motherland. We fought for it. We have integrity of our law, and we're gonna fix this solution, no matter what. If Salva Riek Machar are trying to use public fund for their sake, because to sell oil to North Sudan, that should not be. There must be another solution for the peace in South Sudan. As I say, Riek Machar must be, dropping his war and come back to South Sudan, plus the other detainees which are somewhere. And we don't want people to use the South Sudan as, we don't know the fact of the system. So that's the first point. The peace is not well and will not be well, because we are the people of South Sudan. We still didn't speak. If the North Sudan going to continue to use our oil, and Salva Kiir is going to get money from North Sudan and pay people, and now exercise say, social media must to support the peace, which is peace. It's negative peace. It's nothing. Empty. If you are out of money and try to sell our oil to South Sudan, to North Sudan, to provide to you, and you're going to use it, that the first place you want the who destroy the country, Mr. President. You are the one disturbing the whole entire institution of the SPLM, and only your office was remain. We didn't know what was the cause. You were reacting like that. And I don't know if you view your video when you were fighting during the war. You was a good speaker. You was a main architect of supporting Dr. John Graham. And now you come and you start to talk like a child, scared for everything. Why you fought in revolution? Why you sleeping under a tree? So your character, which when we have a country as being really, a soul, you sold your country to, I don't know who has been suggesting to you. So the peace you are designed with Dr. Riek Khartoum is not genuine. It must be creepy, as I repeat it. A second point. A peace which has been, needed, or people are crying, that is, always pray the Lord not to provide a peace. It can be when government agree on his one word. Government of South Sudan is talk. Everyone have his own definition of peace, and they don't have any draft paper that are representing to the IGAD. If you guys see that the government are not one voice, you can see. When government organize itself and come to peace, they must coordinate one word. They must coordinate one draft. They must have one policy. So they come to Addis on June 20 and 21, And they will say they need peace, but they don't need Riek Machar. This was not a government. I believe it's one particular person who said that. I think Makwenelwed with a lady, another lady, and Makwe was suggesting like that. If it was true that the government have one boy that they don't need Dr. Riek to be work with the government again because for many mistakes. So why Salva Riek signed the cessation of hostility? Why? So if they sign cessation of hostility, they gonna work together. Because if the peace come, they must sit together and discuss the formation of good value, which can guide the country to prosperity, to development, and to freedom, of which we fought for. So, government of South Sudan wants to drive one rep of peace, what they need actually to persuade the warring parties, all the warring parties. And if the warring parties don't want a peace, then let South Sudan fight until they defeat it. Because those warring parties, all the factions in South Sudan are militant. And their hope is North Sudan. So you cannot be strong in the bush, and now South Sudan has its own force. They support to develop a good strategy to bring those criminals that are fighting, are killing civilians under the books. So the government, if government needs peace, it wants to be genuine peace, not like the peace they signed in Khartoum last Wednesday. So this is a second, and it supports, I say, and I will repeat it, there are no two separation armies in South Sudan. No matter what will take, and if Salva agree, because for two separation army, and then Salva is not a leader. Last time I suggested to hear in my corner of reality that the South Sudan, which is creating, when Dr. Riek Machar was talking about 21 states to be in South Sudan, while the 10 state was perfect to South Sudan's people. I suggest last time when Kiir created 20, and now 31, created 28, and continue creating more to be now like 32 states in South Sudan, and they have no capacity to pay those institutions of 28 states. So why people are using wrong tactics, wrong ideas, and they don't have a system which is strong to pay. If you create a system, you must to supply it. So now 28 states or 32 states, people are not paid. They are not paid. Other now, the military didn't get money for about maybe 10 months. Teachers are not paid. Everybody are not paid, and they are hope for a development of a big government. So that is not clear, and that is not a prosperity. So 10 states was good, but now Salva now is stick. He didn't go nowhere. 32 states, what is brought to South Sudan is suffering. People are suffering now. No food, no money. and they are blaming is a war. It's not a war. It's a way people are planning. Planning when it's not good, it can cost you a lot of time. So South Sudan now is really hang out in a hair. So my third point, the peace which has been around a country near in the border of South Sudan, it is wrong. Our people being suffering in Kenya, Uganda, and North Sudan, and wishing a displaced camp. The purpose that is a war, and wishing our tribe too. They are, fighting each other, and government don't control. The government don't have control of them. So if a government really is one to be strong in South Sudan, to bring a peace, government must to bring justice to anyone who are fighting. Any problem, people are used to violence, people must be brought to the book, and government must be serious. Who is strong, the most strong, most. There are no really metal man that cannot be detained, no matter what they are strong. So those who are used to violence, they must bring to the book by the South Sudanese government. So if we fought the war, the last time when we fought the war, we fought Anyanya too. Anyanya too tried to blind the view of the future and try to use their short-minded, and John Garang fought them for 3 years. And you guys know the history. So South Sudan is still volatile. People think the problem has been fixed, by gun, by bullet. So why the government reacted to that, and eliminated all those gangsters around South Sudan, and don't target, a civilian. As before, SPLA didn't use, target civilian. Let the peace come to South Sudan under one army, under one policy of new constitution, under the membership of the SPLM and the convention, we can, be vitalized, by international community as before in 1994, which make SPLA strong again. So a lot of issues in media, because the government of South Sudan and the rebel are just, fighting for the struggle, and Dr. Riek Machar, he hope will be elected, but I doubt, if Dr. Riek Machar don't get his own, viewpoint that, those who have a bad record, those have bad record for the civil war in South Sudan, and now have his own problem again when the nation come. He only want to be a leader by killing people. I believe it is wrong, and I don't think he's going to be elected. So if I was Dr. Riek Machar, I support, to support the government and do very, very well teaching people of value of democratic and the prosperity, and people can, can appreciate him in that kindness if he won to help South Sudanese youngs, to dream about a big future. But his leadership, there are no good performance since he broke away in 91. There are no good performance. He killed good people. And now, Nuba Mountain, Blue Nile, and North, like Yasser Rahman and North people and the Darfurian. If Dr. Riek Machar didn't break away in 91, Sudan supposed to be a perfect place now. They support to capture, and if South Sudan support to sit ABA support to not be North, Nuba Mountain support to exercise his right, and Blue Nile support is right, and we support to have a central government which can be equalized, like United States. So support to be a federalism and support to be no religion in the government. So that was our aim, but New Sudan has been destroyed, and who destroyed the New Sudan is Dr. Riek, weakness SPLA, and destroyed the most places SPLA have been captured. And when SPLA started to gain momentum, Dr. Riek didn't have any more weapon, and he surrounding himself to Bashir. And they signed the agreement in 97 with his supporters, and that agreement never come to life until he come back to SPLM. SPLC was fighting the government, plus Dr. Riek's forces in 91. So that character of view people know, the record are there. It's not something I make. So even more newer thing Dr. Riek gonna come in the election. I do it because he have record. So and then the war broke away in 2013. It also have record. So he didn't know it was a coup, another coup, and everybody, even me, I heard rumors about that the war is going to be coming. So, and that time Nuer was a big number in the government, big number in the South Sudan armed force, because when the Riek broke away in 91, Riek forces didn't return back. Motive was militants, plus more like Gordon Kong Shul was militant, and part of this army in the low Nuer areas. So there was those who destroyed Denga of Jonglei in 91. There was a big number with Riek Machar. So that identity, which is Riek Machar surrounding himself with those record, I don't believe what he's gonna say when he's doing rally, talking about to be elect. What he gonna say? What proposed? What he did? He say what only people think he have credit, and I don't see it. Credit is called is the one who are architect to a determination of South Sudan. There are no architect in that. I don't see it. If John Garang didn't afford the North Sudan, the National Congress, how you can maintain how you can maintain the self-determination? Why they have been disarming North Sudan? in 96. So the architect of South Sudan is a new Sudan style, which we use all Sudan forces like Nubian, few Darfurian, Blue Nile fought against the regime in Khartoum. And we will hope New Sudan will emerge. So if South Sudan want to succeed, yeah, they support to be succeed. Why we put the enemy, which is wrong constitution in Sudan. So Dr. Riek Machar is an architect, has many newer thinking. He is the one who brought the self-determination. But self-determination, you must fight for it. You cannot go back to your enemy and back it, hey, give me my freedom. So which is, he refused. So that's why we took arms and fought for it until we get it in 2005 in a Kenya agreement in Abacha, which was signed by John Garang. So I don't see Riek Machar is going to be a leader in South Sudan in the history. I don't see it. And forgive me maybe if I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong. I'm 100% because I was being in the movement since I was young, and I still now in South Sudan. So Dr. Riek Machar will not come to be a leader of South Sudan in the future because his record is full of incident of bad, not really good incident, bad incident, will have been killing people. So I hope that Riek Machar will remind himself and we come back to South Sudan and work as as a leader of a party and build a party and create one person which can bring him can bring his party up for position of leadership, but not himself. So I hope peace will come, but peace let our hearts, our mind, our ideas come to a good criticize of good constructive is better than insult without a destination, without a pointing finger. So I myself, I know Salva Kiir Mayade was good in the moment, but after he came back, he employed bad people around him, and always they're saying, if you go with the bad people, you're going to be bad. It's the same like you go with Zip, you be called Zip, even you didn't steal something, you still, use the money or use things that Zip have been, has been used. So Salva, when he's approaching to leadership of South Sudan, he brought wrong people around him, and the wrong people, has been lost his idea and feed him with a lot of destruction. And I believe if he don't wake up, his time is near, and I think when election comes, will not be elected again, whether Dr. Riek Machar or Salva Kiir. No one will elect it. So this is my last stop. But let me say this. African people, they don't see the view of a big window or big picture in the future. Our people, leaders, only they see a frame of their lifetime, and they don't believe their children. Not wishing the African people or citizens, only the leadership which is maintained, which is representing the people. So they use the public funds for their desire, for their family, and they don't really dream to build up the country. That is really destroying the African hemisphere, around the African, and that's why African still down up to now. And because our leader, they die in the war, they lose the time why they are governing the people without no hope, without no prosperity. Like now in the Congo, when you see Mobutu Sese Seko was being a leader, he didn't do nothing. Let people enjoy music all the time. And when he left, country didn't have nothing. Country don't have a road, country don't have any hospital, country don't have goods, houses. So people still live under the same style of indigenous in that place. The same now in Zimbabwe, and the same in Ethiopia when Magiso was in power. The same now in most of the rest is Cameroon, like Guinea-Bissau, and Burkina Faso, like that, So the problem of the African, they don't value the community, their people. They only accommodate, their own families. The leaders only, push for better for their families, individuals, and they don't care about people. So if they come to the West, well, they think God give the West well everything, but it's not. It's just a system which provide, the wealth to the people. Like now you go to British, you think, God has been built those marvelous buildings. If you come to New York, you see, beautiful, high-rise building. Africa think, God has done those stuff to the Western world. But it's not that. It's a plan. And that plan make your people happy. So East Africa is still using, take the money to the Western world and to the Eastern, live in a beautiful place and never develop his own place. That is a really calling to be stopping South Sudan. Red Army, I believe you guys, we are getting old, so we need to really coordinate ourselves and see which leader we want to support. We have leaders in our centers, and we need to unite and focus to bring one leader, and we need to support it, and we need to really coordinate too in every step South Sudanese is doing. So let us unite all the Red Army, wherever it is in South Sudan, in all diaspora, and let the youth also be educated too, to accept each other, and let develop South Sudan as a better place in East Africa and in the world. May God bless you, and I hope a peace will come in South Sudan under one military of South Sudan, not two. I hope peace will come to South Sudan, if we accept each other and wait for election. I agree with the President Salva Kiir to silence the gun, but also must be a system which are bringing the criminals sometime when they violate, because our quick solution always running to the fight. It must be also, be dictated by the military. God may bless, but I'm called a peace that then being signed in North Sudan under Omar al-Bashir. I myself and all my colleagues are not accepted that peace. We don't need our oil to be controlled by North Sudan, our economic not to be controlled by North Sudan. May God bless. Thank you.